We now are at a point where elected officials are discussing impeachment with evidence. Now, we already went through this with Russiagate. Now, if the Republicans are lying, they should all be bounced out of office immediately, just like all of the Democrats who lied. Schumer, Schultz, every other Pelosi, when they all lied about Russia, when it had to do with Trump. Yet they paid no price for that. This is, in a great way, what's wrong with this country. There's absolutely no recourse, and there's no accountability for what politicians do. They literally can do whatever the hell they want. They can say what they want, and they can do what they want. Because, again, they have the power. And once they're an incumbent, it's very difficult to get them out. It does happen, but it's very difficult. So, if what is being presented to the American public is factual, you literally have a president who's in office right now who used his position and had family members get rich along with him by using the office of the vice president of the United States. Republicans, again, immediately began lashing out at Biden. This was yesterday, following the release of the unclassified FBI documents that alleged involvement in intentional and international bribery, with a number of the politicians rallying for impeachment. Senator Chuck Grassley released the FD 1023 earlier in the day, detailing how Biden, along with his son Hunter, allegedly coerced Burisma's CEO to pay them millions of dollars in exchange for their help in getting the Ukrainian prosecutor investigation of the company to be fired. We're all a joke to the Biden family, right? We're just like an ATM. And they have gotten rich off us. And it's a really sad state of affairs. That's where we are in this country. It's terrible. It's a shame. It really is. And to me, what I just can't believe, right? So I did my due diligence searching around last night after this story fell, and I was reading what I could ascertain. Fox was carrying the story clearly, obviously, and I was looking around different sites, and even sites that might consider themselves, or at one time was right of center, like Drudge. Not a story on this. Not one written word. Nothing. CNN, of course, nothing. This is a gigantic allegation, and yet they've decided not to cover it. We're like a dog chasing our tail. We keep going over this, and we keep doing it. Why do we give the media this kind of power? Why do we give these politicians this kind of power? Well, I think I know why it happens. It happens because, unfortunately, the American public has too much else going on. They have, their kid is failing algebra, and there's a Little League game, and there's a PTA meeting, and, you're behind on your credit card payments, and you need to work an extra shift. Maybe one of your parents is sick. There's a lot that weighs you down. So when you hear things like this, and that's what they count on, the fact that you're not going to get off your ass because there's too much going on in your life to do something about it. So those of us out here who do have a voice, we chase our tail. I say it. How many times do I have to say it over and over again? How dare the media not at least print the story? Just like we talked about when Hunter Biden's laptop was discovered and it was squelched by Twitter and every other progressive outlet in the country, the fact that they wouldn't print that is deplorable. It is a story. Now, you can put allegedly, you can do whatever you want to make you feel better, but as a news outlet, your responsibility is to print it so the American public can see it. Why are they hiding it? What do they have to gain? Why is the number one story on the Day's website this morning, right now, the number one story, right there, I'm looking at it right now, East Lyme Democrats to hold drag show fundraiser with a picture of the drag show queen. That's the most important story in the country. Shame on you, the Day. You want to go ultra local? You want to stay in Connecticut as the Day paper? Well, something popped yesterday that connected Ned Lamont's wife with Middle Eastern interests over in the Middle East. But his wife, who owns, I don't know how much of shares of a company over in the Middle East, that's okay? That's a story that's ignored. So why are you ignoring it? Why are you ignoring the testimony yesterday about free speech, which is about a bajillion times more important than East Lyme Democrats holding a drag show fundraiser? I'm sorry, guys. A big reason why this country is sinking, and we are sinking, is because of the media. The media refuses to tell you the truth. And I don't know why. I don't understand why. I can't believe that it permeates down to a paper like The Day where they would want to protect the commander-in-chief. I don't know. I don't get it. But I can go right now as I'm talking to you to CNN's website, for argument's sake, and there won't be one story. How is there not one story about what happened yesterday? Nothing. Nothing. You've got a picture of Putin. You've got the serial killer. You've got DeSantis. And a knock on him because he's going after Bud Light. Those are the stories in the headlines on CNN. A day after, there was testimony on Capitol Hill about free speech. And a day after, there are United States senators who are calling for the impeachment of the President of the United States. I don't know what else to say. I really don't.